Today we're just going to solve problems regarding on the reciprocal identities of trigonometric functions. So every trigonometric functions have their own reciprocal identities. So just like sine x is its reciprocal is 1 over cosecant x, and cosecant x its reciprocal is 1 over sine x. Same as cosine x, its reciprocal is 1 over secant x, and secant x is equals to 1 over cosine x. Tan x is equals to 1 over cot x, and cot x is equal to 1 over tan x. So now this reciprocal identities is good when we're going to solve some trigonometric function angles. So we're going to find the value of secant pi over 3 here. So using reciprocal identity, we can write it as cosine phi over 3. So now let's convert phi over 3 into degrees. So as you can see, pi will cancel, and we're going to divide, so it is 60 degrees. So we can write this as cosine 60 degrees, which is going to be root 3 over 2, right? I mean, it's going to be 1 half. Damn, I missed my amount there. So cosine phi over 3 is going to be 1 half, and so it's going to simplify this fraction. So secant pi over 3 is 2. Now what about this one? Cosecant 4 phi over 3. So we're gonna write this as this thing. Now what we're going to do first is basically convert 4 phi over 3 into degrees. So that's going to be we turned it out into its reciprocal, so it's not sine over 4 phi over 3. So we're going to divide first and simplify this. So 18 divided by 3 is going to be 6. We're gonna add 0, multiply this by 4, so this is going to be 6 over 84, so that is around 240 degrees. So this is equal to sine of 1 over sine of 240 degrees. Now we're going to solve this angle, just what we know of. We're going to use the unit circle. So 240 degrees is around in a quadrant 3. So that's going to be have a negative sign value. So it's around here. You can draw a right triangle here. You know this method if you're taking my trigonometry course. So this is the 240 degrees, and we're gonna find the reference theta angle. So the reference angle is going to be 240 minus 180 degrees, so that's going to be 60 degrees. And as we know of, sine of 60 is around root 3 over 2. Then we're going to plug it in again to our trigonometric unit circle, and we're going to put negative sign here. So 1 over sine 240 degrees is negative root 3 over 2. And we're just going to simplify this fraction. So what we got is negative 2 root 3 over 2 over 3. Here is actually how I do it. So we get 2 root 3 over 3 negative. Okay. So this is the value of secant 4 pi over 3. I mean cosecant 4 pi over 3. Now let's try this problem. So we have secant 330 degrees. So as we know of secant 330 degrees, we can just write this as 1 over cosecant 330 degrees. And we can just ballpoint what's the reference angle here. So that's going to be 360 minus 330. That's going to be 30 degrees. And cosine 30 is root 3 over 2. So I'm going to write this as root 3 over 2. Then we're going to simplify our fraction. That's going to be 2 root 3 over 3. So that's the answer. Now, how about this one? We have a negative theta, cosecant negative 225 degrees. So we can just add 360 degrees so we can find the coterminal angle. So the coterminal angle of this thing is going to be 135 degrees. So we can write this as cosecant 135 degrees. Then we can use the reciprocal identity of cosecant. That's going to be sine. So we got 1 over sine of 135 degrees. We can actually find the reference angle. That's going to be 45 degrees. So we can guess it as sine of 45 degrees. So it's going to be root 2 over 2. And we can simplify this fraction. We've got root 2. But how do we know if it's going to be positive or negative? So if you have memorized it, we have quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So in the first quadrant, sine is going to be positive. So S here is positive. S here is going to be positive also in quadrant 2. That's why it is positive. Because 135 degrees is in a quadrant 2 and sine there is going to be positive. Now let's try another problem but in a radian form. So secant of negative 7 pi over 6. So we can just convert this force into a degree. So we can cancel the pi. We actually can just divide force. So 18 divided by 6 is going to be 3. We're gonna add 0 and we're gonna multiply this by 7. So 7 multiplied by 3 is 21 and we're gonna add the 0. We got negative 210 and we're going to find the coterminal of this thing. So we can just add it with 360, so it's 150 degrees. Okay, now so we got secant over 150 degrees and we're going to find its reciprocal. That's going to be cosine of 150 degrees. So we can know that the reference angle of this thing is going to be 30 degrees. So cosecant 30, what is it? So cosecant 30. So it's actually negative because cosine on quadrant 1 is positive. Cosine on quadrant 2 is going to be negative. So that's why it's negative. It's going to be positive in the quadrant 4, which is too far away from our angle. So our angle is just only 150 degrees. So we're gonna use a negative value to our answer. So that's the reference angle. That's going to be cosine 30. So cosine 30 is root 3 over 2. And we're going to find negative here. We can just simplify the fraction. So we got negative 2 root 3 over 2. 3. Okay, I'm gonna put negative sign. So that's the answer for this problem.